show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen, Gillis. Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the Central Texas #1 leader in sports. Centex Sports Network.
That's right, sports fans.
We talk about sports.
And Infinity Sports.
Lighthouse Streaming, a full-scale media agency and your go-to source for all things audio and video. Is your church long overdue for audio and video upgrades? Call Lighthouse Streaming for a free consultation. Your corporate or church event need audio or video production? Don't stress. Call the guys at Lighthouse Streaming. In business since 2017, Lighthouse Streaming has produced hundreds of live events and completed dozens of church and venue installations. Whatever your AV needs are, Lighthouse Streaming has you covered. Give them a call at 254-252-4206. That's 254-252-4206. Or go to lighthousestreaming.com and set up your free consultation.
Central Texas home for sports. Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. KWBT-FM, H2, Waco, Temple, Killeen, Fort Cavazos. The new leader in sport in Central Texas. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
Holy Jesus. What is that?
It's time to get in the game.
You know what's coming.
Tune in Primetime Sports Talk with Jalen Gillis. Your two source breaking sport news in Central Texas and exclusive Dallas Cowboy coverage.
I'll start it up, let's go.
Catch us Monday through Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. on the Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back into Centex Prime Time. I am your host, Jalen Gillis, getting ready to take you through the prime time topics in sports, not just in the Central Texas area, but from all around the nation. Happy Thursday to everybody out there today as we make it to the end of the week. Some of you guys on the work week, some of our teachers, stuff like that. So you made it to the weekend just about, even though it's not the weather that everybody wished for. It's a little bit chilly outside. It's raining outside. We haven't got any free stuff yet, but like I said yesterday, I'm not a weatherman, so I'm not going to try to predict anything. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with us today on Centex Magic 94.5. Also on Infinity Radio, Infinity Sports Radio, Central Texas. And as always, our faithful watchers on Centex Sports Network / Centex Sports TV over on YouTube and Facebook. Before we get started, definitely want to say happy birthday shout out to my son. He turned 3 years old today. So definitely want to give him a happy birthday shout out. Got to cut cake and open up presents and all that stuff. Early this morning, as soon as he woke up, he was ready to party for his birthday. So happy birthday. Shout out to my son for sure. Once again, thanks everybody tuning in. We got plenty to talk about today as we've got NBA season in full effect. A lot of you, like myself yesterday, and watched that Cavaliers versus Thunder game, which is a really good game. We'll talk about that a little bit later. We got NFL Wild Card Weekend this weekend, and in just about an hour and some change, we've got round 3 of the college football playoffs, Notre Dame versus Penn State coming up. I'm excited to be able to watch that. Can't wait to be able to see those two teams take each other on. And Texas versus Ohio State will be right after that on Friday. So I'm excited to be able to see that game as well. And we'll talk about both those games. We'll do our NFL awards today as the NFL regular season wrapped up fully. So we are all the way in postseason now for NFL. Join me today on the show, calling in a familiar face here on the show. We've got Kyle Gibson calling in on the show today. Kyle, what's going on?
What's going on, man? What's going on?
Ain't nothing much, man. Getting ready to watch these games. Like I said, Notre Dame versus Penn State comes on in about an hour and some change. We'll talk about that game a little bit later. Got plenty to talk about, but today I want to switch it up a little bit and talk about a little bit of NBA action, as we haven't got a lot of chance to get NBA talk in here just because of football season being at the end of the season in both college football and the NFL. So I want to talk a little bit of basketball today to start off the show. Like I said last night, 2 top teams in the NBA, Cleveland Cavaliers, Oklahoma City Thunder, got a chance to take each other on last night on ESPN. It turned out to be a really good game. Cleveland came out with the win, 129 to 122. Both these teams playing phenomenal basketball. OKC led by my MVP so far this year, which is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who also should have won MVP last year. Matter of fact, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander been playing great. He had 31 last night. But Cleveland Cavaliers did a great job of being able to get him off of his spots. He had 31 points, but he took 27 shots. When you're playing against somebody that's a dynamic scorer like Shai is, you just want to make it difficult on them, and that's exactly what the Cleveland Cavaliers would do. Cleveland, on the other side, their superstar Donovan Mitchell didn't have a great game either. Lou Dort did a great job guarding him in his game. He went 3 for 16, made some big shots down the stretch to get him to 11 points, and also ice that game away for the Cleveland Cavaliers. The big story, in my opinion, was Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. The two big men getting a chance to play next to each other. I thought this wasn't going to work after seeing them play last year. I thought they were going to have to split one of those two up, even with Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. Thought they were going to have to split one of those two guys, but they're finding a way to make it work. They found a way to work with each other in the post. Evan Mobley, 21 points, 10 boards, 7 assists. Jared Allen, 25 points, 11 boards, 6 assists. So they're finding a way to get each other the ball. They're both moving the ball. Both of them were right there at the top of the team in assist last night, also on the boards. I think this would have been a different game if Chet Holmgren played in this game, but he didn't play in this game, and Cleveland did what they're supposed to do. When you got two big guys down there like that, you go out there and you dominate in the paint, and that's what they were able to do. Kyra, looking at this game yesterday, what's your thoughts in Cleveland being able to come out and win over OKC?
Yeah, man. I really enjoyed the game. It was a good game for one.
Yeah.
I feel like Shai was slightly thrown off of his rhythm because those shots, a lot of those shots still look like they should went in.
Yeah.
Like, it makes those all gone. He was just like he was missing. So I just think they got into his rhythm a little bit. I see them like getting a hand in his face really, but it's just he was having to work to get that face, and that famous chicken wing he had to throw out that he don't never call for.
Never gets off.
But yeah, man, Evan Mobley, he's taking the offensive step forward this year, and I really like players though like that. They come in. He's runner up to this player of the year.
Yeah.
So he came in playing defense, the right way, and then his offense game kind of developed, and now he's kind of their second option already. I know Jared Allen had more points, but Evan Mobley's putting the ball on the floor.
Yeah.
Going to get buckets. So he's I can see him entering into Chet's stressful. Okay, I mean because we saw a couple games from Chet. What Chet looked like was going to be an offensive problem. So he's looking like Chet last year offensively to me. 17, 18 points per game. Defensive, obviously, that's a problem. But I could see them, Chet's obviously ahead. But I could see them kind of, being counterparts with the years, as just complete players at that 4 and 5. Or really just 4 spot. Yeah, another thing, man, I heard you say, you had Shai as the MVP last year. But I just want to point the point, man, because I'm never going to let this die for the next 10 years. But Jokic, man, he's number one in the MVP ladder by the media right now.
Yeah.
When it's clearly should be Shai. No that one seed, best player on the top 2 team. I don't even think you got who's the best team in the NBA right now. They're all within one game of each other.
Yeah.
So Shai could be the MVP frontrunner, right?
Sure.
Right now. But it's Jokic, right? But last year,
yeah,
and Luka was averaging 35, 9, and 9. They were talking about, a reporter literally put out a report. Sorry, they made this section about Luka Doncic. Sorry, Mavs fans, wins matter. And we was a 7 seed, bro. And it is a 5 seed. So I don't know what the love story or this love relationship got with Jokic going on, but he's quickly climbing the ladder for me as one of I just hate his what's it called, man? His fan base and his media fan base, and it kind of turned me into into a Shea fan. You know, I don't really say Gillis Alexander.
Yeah.
But at this point, I'm like, dude, y'all, they do it again.
Yeah, I seen Gilbert Arenas talk about this on his podcast, and I think he kind of opened my perspective on it even more. You've been saying it for probably a couple of years now, but last year letting Jokic win MVP, which I didn't think he should have won it, you almost guaranteed him another MVP this year. What were they, a top 4 seed? I don't think they weren't the 1 seed. They were a top 4 seed in the West last year. He averaged like 24. So now, if his team wins more games, or if he ups his point total or any of his stats, which he did all of that, you have to give him the MVP, because if he was MVP last year and then he ups his stats because he was only at 24 points, now you're almost guaranteeing him another MVP by giving him that one last year, which I don't think is right. Shouldn't have won last year. His stats are ridiculous this year. I'm not even going to try to take that away from him. He's averaging 31.5, 13 boards, and pretty much 10 assists, 9.7 assists. I mean, his stats are crazy, but he cannot win the MVP. You already gave it to him when he was, 6th seed in 2021. You already gave it to him when he had the best record, was playing the best. He for sure got that one. Then you gave him a third one last year. Even Shea was having a better season. Even Luka was having a better season. And honestly, in my opinion, I think Tatum was having just as good of a season, if not a better season, than what Nikola Jokic was having last year.
I agree.
And they still gave him the MVP. Comes out again this year. Now he's actually dominating. His team is worse. And his stats look better because his team was worse. That's why his stats look better than what they are now, because he's got to score 30 a game. Because Jamal Murray's been in and out of the lineup playing bad. Aaron Gordon's missed pretty much his whole season. Michael Porter Jr. just sitting in and out there. So he's got to put up points. He's got to put up crazy stats just for them to be competitive. But that doesn't warrant him winning the MVP. I think it's got to be Shea, honestly, by a mile right now.
A mile.
I definitely think it's got to be Shea. But, I mean, they're propping him up. Again, hopefully, it doesn't sustain throughout the year. Because I won't be able to take another Nikola Jokic MVP. 4-time MVP. Go ahead.
I'm gonna let you just, man.
No, go ahead.
Go from Cleveland. Shout out to Cleveland though, man. Like,
sure.
I can't think of that coach's name, but
Kenny Atkinson used to be the coach of the Nets.
Kenny Atkinson. Yeah, right, exactly. Then is the one they ran out.
Yeah, they ran him out. He went to Golden State to be an assistant coach for a couple years, then got this job.
Man, Donovan Mitchell was 3 for 100 yesterday. Man. And I have to apologize for that because I took the over on 22.5.
Oh.
So I knew that was going to happen. I didn't think that, I thought Lou Dort was probably going to foul out the game. I made a bet, but it was wrong. But look, that's why he didn't score. Okay, I bet the over on him. But that's not a game that they're supposed to be in. You tell me Mitchell has 11 points.
Well, he scored 5 in the last 2 minutes. So he really had 6 points.
Like 6. I'm sitting there, I'm so mad. I was looking at the box score. I tried to enjoy the game. So yeah, Evan Mobley, like, first of all, Darius Garland, man, he is an elite playmaker.
Yeah, he is. He's playing way better this year.
Yeah, but he's
turning into a premier player. Go ahead.
The giving goals were fantastic, man. And I just really feel like he's getting the most out of those 2 bigs. And Kenny Atkinson is getting everybody to just like play in. They're getting threes up too. Dean Wade, Max Strus, like, hey, they're not playing. Yeah, give me space. It's NBA. Yeah, and that's how I feel like it should be. Like the NBA, how y'all not have shooters?
It can't be hard.
It can't be. It was kids high school that can't miss. Like, I know the line is back, but come on, man, millions of dollars. And Dean Wade.
Never miss the hilarious Ricky Smiley.
One show in the city.
The Rick Smiley Morning Show. The most funny in the morning. It's the Rick Smiley Morning Show.
All right, Friday on Smiley Morning Show. Who will win first Dollar Tree prize pack of the year? And the men and women go head-to-head battle of the sexes.
And I got the hot spot, music, movies, and more.
And I'll be wanting some more hot celebrity tea with a fabulous color today. All that and more Friday on the Rick Smiley Morning Show.
It's the Rick Smiley Morning Show.
Every weekday morning.
Wake up!
The sound of Central Texas.
The only radio station I listen to.
Magic 94.5.
94.5 The Beat.
Progressive presents Writers MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you have heard about it, is today's MVP. Your most valuable possession protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in states.
Spill your drink? Quick! The quicker pick-upper. Betty picks up spills quicker. And each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less than the leading ordinary brand. So you get back to your night. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
This is the station everyone can relate to.
There's something very passionate.
R&B, soul, and throwback all day. Mad 94.5.
94.5 The Beat.
Number one GM, in my lifetime, probably. Definitely in my adult years, he's been the number one GM. Okay, he's never been bad. Maybe.
They're bad, yeah. After Chris Paul left, maybe for like a couple years.
Yeah, maybe like 1 or 2 years, but they still made the playoffs. I forgot that second year of them being bad. They just got bounced early.
They were
I believe so. Yeah, they just grew with shape. The better shape, the better shape he got, the better OKC got. He kept adding talent. You find a young player in Jalen Williams who could potentially turn to an all-star. So there's he's done everything, every turn that you can ask of a GM. He's kept the seat filled with stars, right? He brought a veteran in to really develop Shea. Honestly, I'm pretty sure that those years with Chris Paul were valuable to Shea. He learned some things, and he probably set him on a faster trajectory. Then after that, man, it was just the accumulation. Now, I've always one of those people that went in and investigated because I keep on getting all these picks. Yeah,
that's the crazy part.
A good GM. I know Shea trade Paul George trade was like a lot, you know what I'm saying? But how many? I feel like every year they add picks that wasn't their original trade.
and they got a lot of picks that was down the line, and a lot of those they deferred the picks. You know how you can pick. You want to take this pick now, or do you want to defer it a couple years down? A lot of those they kept deferring the pick and deferring the pick and deferring the pick until we wind up with the number 3 pick and we get Chet, or until we wind up with the number 11 pick and we get J Dubs. So, man, Sam Presti's been doing a phenomenal job. I have no idea what Stephen A. is talking about. I don't know why, but that's just culture of the media, and the social media plays up in that too. As soon as somebody gets good, they got to win. Or Anthony Edwards, he sucks, he hasn't won. We're like, bro, he just got here. Like, what do we expect? They did with Tatum for years. He's gotten to the conference finals, but he ain't won. Well, he's like 23. That's what he hasn't won. Right. Maybe he's been in the league a couple of years. I don't know why it's LeBron 7 years to be able to win his first ring. It's Mike 7 years to be able to win his first ring. Why do we want these guys to come right in?
That they should go get Jimmy Butler. I don't know how or who they should give up, whether it's Bill.
It has to be Bill.
Eh, yeah, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, you've had Devin Booker for what, 8 years, 7, 8 years, 6 years?
Yeah, he's
I'm
been in
not
the league
sure.
a minute.
Is he gonna be the one that's gonna get you over the hump? You know, like, do you restart? Because you got all these assets. You're not like, and the thing is, I think what you do right now is you fire the coach, right? You fire the
It's
coach.
his
I know
first
they're
year on
not
the
bad.
job.
It's his first year on the job, man. But like, it's
It's
what
bad.
I'm seeing, man. It's bad, man. Like the culture, like the attitude is bad. And I saw this with the Mavericks, right, for a little bit, for a small portion, while Jason Kidd was the coach. And they was losing, when, of course, and the only thing that fixed it was actually winning. But that took, it's well documented for the Mavs, man. They had a kumbaya moment where they had this big team meeting and pretty much just like sat Luka down. It was like, bro, we need you to play defense, man. Like,
Yeah.
play defense. It don't matter. So, and this is what started that run we went on.
Never miss the hilarious.
That's what happened. I don't see a Mike Budenholzer being able to do that because, again, this is Jason Kidd. This is a Hall of Famer, respected by everybody at the end of the day. And I don't think Mike Budenholzer got that in his wheelhouse, man.
No.
So I think you either get Jimmy, somebody that can do it in the locker room, or, player to player, or you fire the coach, man, and just, I'm the owner got to shake something up. Like, bro, I'm not going for it. Fired.
Yeah.
Go home.
And that's the type of owner they got too.
Yeah. So I think that's he needs to just just start tripping, bro. Just start tripping.
Yeah, it's definitely coaching. At first I was like, man, they got to get different players in there. But at this point, get this Phoenix Suns team to Mike D'Antoni and see how much different this looks. All of them going to average 30. Beal, Durant, and Booker. It's the offense.
Mm-hmm.
You can't run this offense. Budenholzer wants to make every team. This is the reason he got fired in Milwaukee. He wants to make every team that 2015 Atlanta Hawks team that he had, where we don't really have a true star. Everyone just touches the ball, and we'll get some shots up, and we're just going to play right. Hey, that doesn't work. You got 3 go-get-it scorers on your team. And then you went and finally got a point guard. Okay, if your team is not going to play defense, which they're not, their team is built defensively, they're horrible, then just score points. But you got games the other day, like they lost to the Hornets the other day, and you getting up 80-something shots for the whole game. That's not enough shots, bro. You need to get up 100 shots every single game. You're trying to slow down the tempo. Kevin Durant was 8 for 18. Why is KD getting 18 shots? Like, that's not right. Ryan Dunn, whoever that is, he got 8 shots. Ryan Dunn needs to have 1 shot if KD's got 18 shots. Monty Morris got 5 shots. He needs to have 1 shot if KD's got 8. Like, it's just not working out. I know it's early and it's only been a couple months into the coach, but they fired Adrian Griffin after a couple months in Milwaukee. Even though he was his first job. Hey, get rid of Budenholzer. Let him go retire. He don't got plenty of money. He's probably still getting paid from Milwaukee. He might still be getting paid from Atlanta because he got fired from both of those. So
you know what, Jalen?
Yeah.
Sorry, man. I don't even know if Jimmy Butler is an answer. I would want to see them make different, like their center. I'm not a Nurkic guy. I don't like big centers that aren't offensively dominant that also can't block shots. All right, you know what I'm saying? Like, why are you on the floor? I think they should try to go after a cheap player, like maybe.
Yeah, I'm not that big of a fan of Nurkic either. I don't like the big guys that don't want to play big. I don't like the big guys that want to shoot threes. I need you to go get rebounds and rim run, and he's not running. He's not running at all. That's his problem. Nurkic can't even really run like that. That's not the center that fits into that offense, in my opinion. I think you need a more mobile center, somebody that can go to the rim, like a Jared Allen, somebody like that can block shots. How DeAndre Jordan used to be in the Clippers, somebody that can block shots, somebody that can get rebounds and rim protect. Nurkic is not that guy, and I'm pretty sure that's why he got benched, because he's shown that he's not that guy as far as rim running, as far as rim protection with them, and that adds to the Suns' problem. But the Suns got a lot of holes they got to fix. I've seen the Jimmy Butler trade in loom. They're trying to find a way to get him with Beal. I just don't think Miami wants Bradley Beal. so that made it tough on them. I don't know what this team needs to do, but it's going to have to start with coaching and culture, like you said. It's going to take both of those to be able to turn this around. We got to take a quick break, folks. When we come back, still got some more NBA to talk about. We got to do our NFL awards today. We're going to do MVP. We're going to name our All-Pro team. We got to talk about all of those. So stay tuned and stay locked in right here on Centex Primetime. We'll be right back after this short break.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen Gillis.
Act like y'all.
Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the Central Texas #1 leader in sports. Centex Sports Network.
That's right, sports fans.
We can talk about sports.
And Infinity Sports.
Hey guys, it's Rocky and Keisha, and at Prosperity Tax Service, we're all about convenience. We get it. Life is busy. Your time is valuable. That's why we've streamlined the entire process to be as hassle-free as possible.
No more sifting through piles of paperwork or spending hours at an office. With Prosperity Tax Service, you can handle your taxes from the comfort of your own home.
Your financial data is in safe hands with us through our secure and user-friendly customer portal at prosperitytax.com. It's your one-stop shop for all things tax-related. Log in anytime from anywhere, whether it's from your couch or on the go.
We are experienced tax professionals, well-versed in handling a variety of tax situations. Receive genuine assistance and competitive pricing from real tax professionals who've seen it all.
We're marking 2 decades as a community-based enterprise here in Waco, Texas. So call us at 254-235-5662 or log on to www.prosperitytax.com. Thanks, guys.
Lighthouse Streaming, a full-scale media agency and your go-to source for all things audio and video. Is your church long overdue for audio and video upgrades? Call Lighthouse Streaming for a free consultation. Does your corporate or church event need audio or video production? Don't stress. Call the guys at Lighthouse Streaming. In business since 2017, Lighthouse Streaming has produced hundreds of live events and completed dozens of church and venue installations. Whatever your AV needs are, Lighthouse Streaming has you covered. Give them a call at 254-252-4206. That's 254-252-4206. Or go to lighthousestreaming.com and set up your free consultation.
NSJ Event Co., one of the premier event designers in Central Texas and a Centex Sports Network supporter. Voted Waco Awards Event Planner of the Year 2021, NSJ Event Co. is your go-to source for event planning. Whether it's your next baby shower, birthday bash, wedding, or retirement party, NSJ Event Co. will bring out the elegance, class, and style your event deserves. Call NSJ Event Co. at the number on the screen or scan the QR code to schedule a free consultation. NSJ Event Co., where the party lady takes care of all your event needs.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. KWBT-FM, HD2 Waco, Temple, Killeen, Fort Cavazos. The new leader in sports in Central Texas is Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. This is live from the Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports Studios.
That's right, sports fans.
About to show these boys how we do it.
Tune in to Primetime Sports Talk with Jalen Gillis, our go-to source for breaking sports news in Central Texas and exclusive Dallas Cowboys coverage on the Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into Centex Prime Time. I am your host, Jalen Gillis, still here in hour number 1. We just got done talking about NBA as the Cavaliers and Thunder got to play last night. It turned out to be a really good game. I want to thank all of you guys for listening in with me today on Centex Magic 94.5. Infinity Sports Radio, Central Texas, and watching on Centex Sports Network on YouTube. If you're tuning in with us on the YouTube, make sure you guys like the stream. Also, hit that subscribe button and click that bell so you can get notified here whenever we go live, Monday through Thursday, 5 to 7 p.m. right here on Centex Sports Network. Coming up tomorrow, we've got MCC basketball right here on Infinity Sports Radio, Central Texas. Also right here on Centex Sports Network. as MCC will start their conference play. Both men and women's team starts conference play tomorrow at the Highlands here in Waco, Texas, where they will be taking on Weatherford College. MCC's women's team ranked top 10, number 10 in the nation. Some really good basketball getting played tomorrow as both Coach Thomas and Coach Kevin Gill look to start off conference 1-0. That game is tomorrow at 2 o'clock and at 4 o'clock. So if you don't get a chance to come out to the Highlands, you can always watch right here on Centex Sports Network. Still joined on the show by Kyrell Gibson as we go through a couple more of these NBA topics. Just got done talking about some of the top teams in the league and also talked a little bit about the Phoenix Suns. Kyrell, you were making a point about the Suns and how they need to switch up at their center position in the mic cutter. I'll let you go ahead and finish your thought on that.
Yeah, it was just the principle that the Mavericks followed, right? We sucked on defense for years. Went and got Derek Lively, which was maybe not that big of an offensive threat. It ended up being more, but we really just got him to shot block. Then trade for Daniel Gafford, really a shot blocker. They ended up being great finishers. But at the same time, when you are a team that don't really have great defense, man, you need insurance. And that's what a shot blocker would do. Trade Nurkic for Nick Richards. Trade Nurkic for Nick Claxton. You know, somebody that is going to be an anchor in insurance for when Devin Booker, KD, and Bradley Beal don't want to play defense, man.
Yeah.
You know, Ty Jones a small guard. Like, hey, man, y'all need somebody that's going to be some insurance, man. Be safe hands, you know. So that's the move that they could make right now if they don't want to fire the dud coach. They could trade for one of those backup centers, one of those athletic backup centers that'll deter some shots.
Yeah, and they got picks. They've still got a few picks. I remember after the season last year, Matt Ishbia, the owner, came out and said, I like our situation better than anybody else's in the league, even though they lost in the first round of the playoffs. Because he said they got draft capital and stuff. Okay, well, use this draft capital. Or are you just going to waste KD's last couple of years on this team or in the NBA by just going out there and losing? I'm not understanding what they're doing as a whole in Phoenix. I thought they started to turn the corner earlier in the season when they were playing good. But they put up some nasty losses, man. Losing to the Hornets. You lost to the Hornets, and I know they played Jello song in the stadium after you lost. You can't go out like that, man. You got to be, and all three stars played. Booker played, and Bill played. You can't go out like that against the Hornets, bro. I don't know what Phoenix has going on, but they've got to make some type of move.
Throwing it off the backboard, and come on, man.
Yeah, Melo throwing it off the backboard and then going into a pass. Like he playing NBA Street on y'all. Because y'all are that bad at defense. And nobody fears y'all scoring because y'all only going to give KD 18 shots. I need KD to get at least 25. I stayed away from KD on prize picks. I couldn't even trust KD no more. KD used to be a shoe-in at a certain part of the season, but I can't even trust KD on prize picks no more. He's starting to be like Anthony Edwards. And you talked about the Mavs a little bit. I want to go over to them as we have a lot of Mavericks fans that listen on here with us. I want to talk about them a little bit. Your team, they're obviously fighting through some injuries right now. Luka's going to miss some time. Kyrie's going to miss some time. Is this going to be too much of a hole for them to dig themselves out of when Kyrie and Luka get back? Right now, they're at the 5th seed. They just smacked the Lakers. Matter of fact, they beat them by almost 20, led by Spencer Dinwiddie, who, like I said earlier in the year, I think is probably one of the best pickups of the year. He's the perfect backup point guard that they need. Hardy, I know he can get off sometimes, but I just don't think he's ready for that position yet. But Spencer Dinwiddie's instant offense, or he can come in and run the offense if you need him to actually be a point guard, or he can just spot up in the corner and shoot threes if you need him to do that. He's kind of a Swiss Army knife on the offensive end, and he's helping his team. But I don't know if he'll have enough to be able to keep this team afloat over these next few weeks while they're missing Kyrie and Luka. So are they going to be in too much of a hole for them to come out of and make another run back to the finals by the time Luka and Kyrie get back?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be too much, man. I think we'll be in the playoffs. I don't think we'll be in the play-in. I think this team, as we are injured as we are right now, with Spencer, Najee, I think we'll beat like really all the bad teams because it's just too many ball handlers on the floor. Mavericks all of a sudden just have a lot of decent, good players. Like if you watch the Lakers game.
Yep.
Last night, it's like everybody was contributing. And when Luka was out at the beginning of the season, it was just Kyrie. It was the same thing. Like we was on a winning streak, man. Like we have a good team, but the problem is when Luka gets back, when Kyrie gets back, and these guys have been running the show for what's probably going to be the better of a month and a half. Um, they're gonna have to change the offense again, and that's gonna be an adjustment. Then you look at you're gonna have OKC having Chet come back. Houston's young, they're just learning. They're gonna get better as well. Um, you got. I mean, I'm really not scared of anybody else. It's really just not. I don't think OKC is gonna be is. I think OKC is only gonna get better. So that's really our only competition to me because I think us and OKC would literally smack anybody we played in the playoffs outside of
Man,
each other.
better watch out for them Rockets, man. I'm just telling you now. Remember I said it.
Oh
January 9th.
yeah. No, the Rockets gonna give us problems too because they just too athletic for us for one.
And Ben Thompson is my favorite player on the Rockets. Absolute
man,
dog.
nobody want to talk about. It's annoying, man. Like every time he have a good game, people want to talk about his twin. Bruh, it's not.
Why?
Close.
He's in Detroit.
But it's not even about he's a better player than him.
He got picked
he's a
for
way
a
better
reason.
player. Yeah, and people try to they always try to include them, and I know they twins, so it's easy, man. But nah, this is quickly turning into a Marcus and Markieff situation, man. Where one's
Brooke Lopez, Robin Lopez.
Yeah, Brooke and Robin. Yeah, that too. Yeah, that's a better one. But yeah, I'm in Thompson, man. Like that, he's favorite player. I got that 13.5 tonight. I promise you.
Rebounds and assists. Rebounds and assists. See, I started to take him on points, rebounds, assists, or at least points and rebounds because dude be getting like 15 boards out. He's playing the 4 right now. He's a guard. He's starting at 4 because Tari East and Andrew Barr Smith are both still hurt. He's starting at the 4 and he's killing.
And a dog, and he not with that. Like, hey, he will be.
Hey, he slung Tyler Hero like a rag doll. I said, God, you can't. Come on, man. First rule when you get in the league, man, you can't start beating up the white guys that's in the league. They're not going. That's not going to last.
Tyler Hero was listening to country music again when he went back to the locker room, man. Left all that Jack Harlow stuff alone, all that rap, man. Anyways, bro, yeah, the Rockets, OKC, but the Mavericks will be fine. The problem is are they going to be able to gel again once Luka comes back? Are they going to be able to adjust to Luka being out on the court? Because that's how we play defense. Luka don't play defense, man. He locks in for like a game or two in the playoffs, to when people start talking about him. He'll play good for a couple games. But majority of the time, the Mavericks are just covering his rear end. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They're trying to make up for him. And when he comes back, that's going to alter the team, man. It's going to alter the offense. And it's better. Trust me, when that's at the peak and they're at their peak, Luka in the offense is better. Don't get me wrong. But it's going to be an adjustment. We're going to lose games when he come back. I'm just telling you how it's going to go. We're going to lose games, and we might end up in the play-in or out the playoff. But if we make the playoffs and we don't got to play OKC in the first round, I'm telling you what's going to happen, all right? Luka is going hoop for real. Like, he just going to hoop because that's what he do in the playoffs, fat or skinny. It don't matter. He going to do what he do. But it's going to be a rough month. This is our toughest stretch of basketball so far, we got a bunch of coming up. You're going to see us lose a lot of games. We might fall out of the playoff picture. But we'll be there. We'll be in the play-in. We'll be there. We're not going to lose to no bad teams, but we're going to lose to all the good teams.
Yeah, I think right now is probably one of the first times I think that the 10 teams in the West that are in are going to be the 10 teams in the playoffs. I think Phoenix might not even make the play-in, bro. The way that they're playing, I don't think they'll make the play-in. San Antonio is young, but they starting to find something. Starting to find something with Steven Castle and Wembanyama, who was getting locked up by Giannis last night.
10 points, bro.
Yeah, they're starting to find something there. The Warriors, I think, are just going to hang around enough just because of Steph. They'll probably be that 10th seed. They'll hang around. Minnesota, they're okay. We're about to talk about Minnesota in a second, but I think the 10 teams that are in are probably going to be the 10 teams, and Dallas being one of those. So I'm with you. If they get the right matchups going in, even if they fall to a lower seed, if they don't have to play OKC right away or an experienced Denver team or something like that right away, they're probably going to smack some of these other teams. The Grizzlies are playing really good basketball, but they're not consistent. And we don't even know who's going to play for the Grizzlies in April. They're so hurt. Every star they have is extremely injury prone. So I wouldn't trust the Grizzlies and them. And then obviously the Clippers are just the Clippers, even though Kawhi just came back and is already back out. Did you see that? Kawhi is back out again.
One game.
This man played one game. All right, I was just playing, y'all. I'm back. I'm back retired. I don't know. Hey, I don't know what's going on with Kawhi, but shout out to Kawhi, man. He knows how to get his bread, and he definitely knows how to take plenty of time off. He gets a vacation 6 or 7 months out of the year with the full-time job. It's crazy, but yeah, I think the Mavs are going to be okay. I think they're going to fall down, but when Luka and Kyrie get back and join the fold, and some of these younger guys get that experience they gained in this time, I think they'll be all right. I still, like I said at the beginning of the year, don't have them get back to the finals, but I still think that they're going to have a good year and could still have a good playoff run. Want to look at a couple of these games that are coming up on the slate here tonight. Minnesota and Orlando, the only game on TV tonight. I'm only talking about this game because I think Paolo might come back in this game. I'm not sure. Or they got him out in this one. I think he'll come back in tomorrow's game. But they still been playing some good basketball. Even though Franz Wagner is out, Jalen Suggs is out, Paolo is out. Really want to talk more about the Minnesota side. Do you see Minnesota turning this corner even with what looks like right now Anthony Edwards regression? I don't know what happened with Ant Edwards. I think it was all of you guys' fault that kept comparing Anthony Edwards to Michael Jordan. Only thing Anthony Edwards and Michael Jordan have in common is they black. That's it. Nothing else. They don't play the same. I don't know who told y'all that or why y'all started thinking that. Anthony Edwards in his best seasons was getting like 25 a game. And y'all said, this is like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan as a rookie was coming out getting like 28, 29. So let's stop all comparisons to Michael Jordan once again. I don't know why we have to do that every time we think somebody is good. Let's just cut out the Mike comparisons, especially when it comes to Anthony Edwards. Even though he is good. One of my favorite players in the league to watch. He's kind of regressed somewhat this year. He's starting to find his mojo a little bit. I think he had 53 on Detroit the other night, and since then he's had 30 a few games in a row. Matter of fact, I got Anthony Edwards on Prize Picks tonight. I got him getting over that 25 points against Orlando because everybody in Orlando is hurt. But what do you think about this Timberwolves team and then Anthony Edwards and his play so far this year?
Man, yeah, he's been hooping. Like when we was on the phone the other day talking about how disappointed he was in him, he started hooping. So
yeah,
like,
he did.
I was like, whatever, of course. But yeah, Ant is. I don't know what he needs right now. Like, I don't know if it's just okay. Does he just need to become a better playmaker, or what? Because the 15 points per game or 15 multiple games scoring 15 points, like that just can't fly. And I do blame the NBA a little bit, or just their marketing team a little bit, or whatever they try, because they definitely tried to like just throw him up there. And I get it, man. Like all the stars, like after LeBron, man. Hey,
the league don't know what to do because LeBron, Steph, and KD all finna leave. They don't know what to do right now.
They need Ant to be the best player. Like they need him to be the best player. He's the most charismatic player in the league. Mm-hmm. He's he's always got a smile on his face. He's entertaining. Like they need that, but he's just not that yet. And we saw that last year. They thought they was gonna get him, man. They thought because he beat Denver, it was gonna happen. But you saw what was really going on. Like he not in that five. He's not in that top. Not even top 5 player yet. Like, man, he's definitely not. This year's showing us he's not consistent enough to have those accolades or that title. I don't know what he's going to need going forward. Like, what do you do as a young star that's struggling to? I don't want to say he's not consistent because he isn't, but he's not like we ain't talking like he's just terrible.
No, for sure.
And then like he's still a star, man. But it's just, bro, why are you not averaging 20? Why are you not averaging 27, bro? Like,
why are you not aggressive? He's not aggressive getting downhill.
Like, and it's not like you got people on your team that's like should be taking shots from you. I mean, I guess. Well, whoa, I forgot who's on his team now. No, I ain't watched every game.
Mr. Ball Stopper himself.
Hey, Mr. Ball Stopper himself.
Julius Randle.
Man, boy got the monkey with the tambourines and the for a brain, man. So maybe that might be it. I might be willing to absolve him, man. Because
he's got to get downhill. My only problem with him is the 3-point shooting. I'm looking at this game, his last 3 games, he's played good. 53 points, then 37, then 32. Them last 3 games, he had 15. He took 15 threes against Detroit. He took 13 threes against the Clippers, and he took 11 threes against the Pelicans. Why are you shooting so many threes? You can't shoot. You're not a shooter. Just get downhill. That was my number one problem of all time with him and these Michael Jordan comparisons. Michael Jordan is getting downhill. He couldn't hit a jumper, and he knew it. I don't care. I'm not even trying to shoot a 3. I'm trying to dunk on somebody every single play. If I happen to get a double reverse layup underneath the goal, cool. But I'm trying to dunk every play, and I wanted to be on somebody to try to embarrass somebody. That's the difference. Anthony Edwards has that same athleticism or close to that same athleticism, but he won't get aggressive and get downhill. And then when you score 53 points against the Pistons, you lose by 15 points to the Pistons. Like that. Come on, man. I don't know what's going on with Anthony Edwards.
I will say this too, Jalen, though. Edwards, they need Edwards to be the face of the league and to actually start playing consistent so they can market him properly. But I tell you what, man, I saw one play that just reminded me who was really supposed to be and who maybe still could because he looks slim. Zion, man.
Bro, it's crazy.
If they can get Zion healthy, bro. If they can get Zion healthy, it's still there. It's not over, man. It's not. This dude can still electrify because you remember the broad dunk against the Mavericks the other night, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was crazy. Set the internet on fire, man. Bro, but that Zion 360 windmill, that
ain't
was
played in 3 months.
That's what the NBA been missing, bro. That's what it is right there. Everybody talking about why is the viewership down? Why is it so whatever. Bro, they need Zion, bro. They need Zion to stay healthy or get him out of New Orleans. It's Zion, man. He's consistent, bro. Dude, come on. If he plays 12 or 15 every night, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna do the same thing down. And if you get on a fast break, your ticket is worth it.
Yep.
Your ticket is worth it.
No, that's facts.
Man.
That's facts, man. Zion is when he's playing, he is probably, I might put him in the top 10 player in the league whenever he's playing. He's that good when he's playing. But this dude cannot leave the etouffee alone. He can't leave the catfish alone. He can't leave the gumbo with everything in it alone. He got to get up out of New Orleans. We got to send him somewhere where there's no good food. He got to go to Minnesota. I know there's no good food in Minnesota. He got to go somewhere like that. Well, get this dude off the table. They got to put a ban out in New Orleans.
So look at him.
You can't get this guy. Yeah.
He looks like Duke.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the highlights right now. He looks like Duke the other night against Minnesota.
He's
slim. He do not look chunky at all, man.
That alley-oop was 2 or 3 feet over his head where it's supposed to be, and he still caught that.
Man.
Zion is the biggest mystery in the league. There's nobody to compare him to in previous history because I can't think of nobody like this. People say Charles Barkley, yeah, he was too big and then he slimmed down and this is a whole different type of thing than Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
This dude will jump over Charles Barkley while being Charles Barkley's weight. That's the crazy part. He never lost his jump at any point. When he was fat, when he was slim, he just can't stay healthy because your body cannot be jumping up and down as high as you're jumping, bro, at 290 pounds. Gravity just won't let you do it, and the human body's not made for you to be able to do that. Yes, it's not going to be able to happen. He's going to have to slim down, and I don't know if it's getting out of New Orleans. His decision-making is just crazy in general. We already seen all the stories of how he's spending his money and and his recent baby shower stuff and all that. So his decision-making is at an all-time low already. He's got a bunch of money. We seen that video of him on FaceTime with that girl. I don't go too far into it. But yeah, man, this dude, his decision making is not good. He got to get some better guys around him. Somebody get this guy a chef. I don't get it. It be dudes in the G League with a chef. It's people that just got a good job. That work at the VA got a chef. Why Zion don't got a chef? I don't get it, man. Get this guy a chef and get this dude out of these buffets, man. I don't get it. Zion is literally one of the best players in the league whenever he can play, but we just can't get this guy to play, and I don't get it. I don't know what it is. He's got to get some better guys around him or something. Before we switch up and go to some NFL here in hour number 2, I want to get your opinion on who are your top teams in the NBA right now. I'll start with mine. I mean, it's kind of easy, at least for the first three of them. Right now, I think Cleveland is playing the best basketball in the league, so I'm cool with giving Cleveland that number one spot. They've only lost 4 games. We're almost halfway through the season, and they're on pace to win 70 games. It's pretty ridiculous. At my 2 spot, I'm gonna go ahead and go OKC. I'll give Cleveland that edge. They just beat them, even though Boston just beat OKC as well too. I'll still give OKC that edge over them. I put Boston at 3. I still got Boston as my favorite to be able to go and win the championship once again. There have been guys in and out of the lineup. Jalen Brown has missed time. I think Derek White's missed some time. Porzingis is always going to miss time. So they've got guys that's missed time, but they're still 27-10 with all those pieces that they have missing right now. At my 4th spot, I'm going to go to New York Knicks. I didn't think the Knicks were going to be able to turn around as bad as they started and get to this good that quick. But the Knicks are one of the best teams in the league, and it's really because of the guy that I didn't think it would be, and that's Karl Towns. He's gotten way better since he's left Minnesota. Maybe just who he's always been. Obviously, it was crowded in the paint when he was in Minnesota because nobody can shoot but him. And then you got Gobert just being alive down there, just taking up space. One of the worst basketball players. I'm out on this Gobert thing. One of the worst basketball players in the entire NBA is Rudy Gobert. That's a whole different subject. But Karl Towns has went almost to an MVP type of level. He's leading the league in boards. Coach Thibodeau is going to play you 45 minutes a game, so your stats are going to be there. But he's been playing great basketball. I like the New York Knicks at my 4th spot. At the 5 is where I went kind of back and forth on this, but I'm going to go ahead and put him there, man. I didn't want to be biased, but I'm going to put the Houston Rockets right there. I already said it. Amen Thompson, my favorite player on the Rockets. Absolute lockup on defense. Aggressive. Will dunk you. He's going to have 2 to 3 fast break dunks a game. We got Jalen Green, as inconsistent as he is, another one of these young players with terrible decision-making off the court. But on the court, he's got to get more consistent. He'll give you 31 game, and he'll give you 15 the next game. If he can get more consistent, the Rockets are going to be a scary team this year. Şengün, a model of consistency, been playing great the last 2 years. Fred VanVleet. And Dylan Brooks, who I've never liked as a player, but I just like him on the Rockets. He's one of those people you're only going to like him if he's playing for your team. Even when he switches over to play for Team Canada, I hate him again immediately. But when he's on the Rockets, he fits the culture perfectly. He brings that edge. He's going to start a fight with somebody for no reason. And he's going to make big shots. As much as I don't like him, he will make big shots down the stretch. So that's my top 5. I got Cleveland at 1, OKC at 2, Boston at 3, New York at 4, and I got Houston at 5. What's your top 5 teams right now that's playing in the NBA?
Yeah, for me, I thought OKC won their game against Boston the other day.
Oh, they might have. I didn't even look at it. I was trying to just go straight off memory. Yeah, they did. You're right.
Yeah.
They did. They beat them. They beat them by 13.
They yeah. So I turn injuries off when I do these things, man. So I have OKC at 1. You know, they played the 2 top teams. They beat Boston without Chet, and they played Cleveland real tight. I
don't think Boston had Jalen Brown either, though. But yeah, they did.
Oh,
they did beat
okay.
them.
Okay. Well, that changes things. Well, I also feel like Boston's bored. You know, they just want to chip, so I feel like in a 7-game series, Boston would probably win all 3, beat both of those teams. So I'm going Boston. I'll go Boston, OKC, and then Cleveland. I think Cleveland really wanted that game. Great games from Dean Wade and Max Strus. 4 and 5, I would actually put Houston before New York. Houston is dog. Like, they got dogs, bro.
Yeah.
Like, they
Udoka revenge tour.
Exactly, man. And if he wasn't on that Bron hater stuff, man, I'd really be even a bigger fan, bro. And with the whole thing with Nia Long, man, them 2 things, it's holding me back from really rooting for this dude. But no, he's a great coach. Amen Thompson, Jabari Smith, they're lengthy, they're athletic, man. So I really like I don't like Dylan Brooks. I don't care what you say. I'm not gonna talk about him as an asset, but Amen Thompson, man, and then Fred VanVleet is a great veteran point guard at this stage for the Rockets, man. He 13, 14 points per game, but he just consistent, man. He got some fire to him. That's what I really like about the team, bro. They not they not no man. They I can't say that, but they just
I know what you want to
tough,
say.
man.
Yeah, but they're not no pushovers. We'll say it like that.
Exactly, man. Exactly. So like they not going like straight like that, man. They just not going. From Fred VanVleet to Amin Thompson to Dylan Brooks, all of them not going all the way down to the
And we
coach,
got Steven
right?
Adams.
And they got Steven Adams, man, Aquaman. They just not going for it, man. So and then Cam Whitmore, another like sneaky dog, man. Like
he's definitely a
come
dog.
out come out there and like you got 4 people on the court. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 people on the court. Jay Sean Tate, he'll get on you too.
Yeah.
You got 5 people they'll put you in the rim. And I like teams like that, man.
Yeah.
So at this point, like, hey, you gotta start putting some respect on Houston, man. I ain't want to do it, but Amin Thompson coming around these last couple. Well, really, Amin Thompson cashing for me. It's really changed my perspective on the. Let me start putting up.
He win you a couple dollars, it's gonna start. That's gonna change your perspective a little bit.
Exactly, man. So and then I got the Knicks. I'm glad you brought up the thing about Karl Towns, but I noticed is I was like, I'm noticing the Knicks starting to realize, hey, Jalen Brunson, cool, and he got us far last year. But your best player can't be no 5'11" point guard.
That's 210.
That's 210. Yeah, this one, couple games, man, half a season, and bro, our best player is probably the former number 1 overall pick at 6'11". Let's go with that. Yeah, because
exactly.
14, 15 boards, scoring 40. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's roll with that. That's probably a better shot than JB. Which shout out JB, man. He did way more than what he was supposed to. But Cat is their best player. All right.
Oh, for sure.
We can hang that up. We can hang that JB stuff up right now. I don't want to hear no more MVP JB no more, bro. Like, hey, he dead.
No, that's over with.
He's not the best player on the team. Okay. But I got the same 5, man, just in a slightly different order.
Yeah, I think those are the 5 best teams right now in the league, and obviously it's early. It's just the first third of the season, but we'll see as we get further and further throughout the season of what teams decide to step up. Folks, we got to go into a break. When we come back, we're going to be talking innovation, and we also still have to talk about this game tonight, Penn State versus Notre Dame. I'm watching them on the TV right now, get warmed up. So we'll talk about all of those, and we'll do our NFL awards. When we come back, stay tuned and stay locked in for hour number 2. We'll be right back after this break.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen Gillis.
Act like y'all know.
Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the Central Texas #1 leader in sports. Centex Sports Network.
That's right, sports fans. We can talk about sports.
And Infinity Sports.
Lighthouse Streaming, a full-scale media agency and your go-to source for all things audio and video. Is your church long overdue for audio and video upgrades? Call Lighthouse Streaming for a free consultation. Does your corporate or church event need audio or video production? Don't stress. Call the guys at Lighthouse Streaming. In business since 2017, Lighthouse Streaming has produced hundreds of live events and completed dozens of church and venue installations. Whatever your AV needs are, Lighthouse Streaming has you covered. Give them a call at 254-252-4206. That's 254-252-4206. Or go to lighthousestreaming.com and set up your free consultation.
Hey guys, it's Rocky and Keisha, and at Prosperity Tax Service, we're all about convenience. We get it. Life is busy. Your time is valuable. That's why we've streamlined the entire process to be as hassle-free as possible.
No more sifting through piles of paperwork or spending hours at an office. With Prosperity Tax Service, you can handle your taxes from the comfort of your own home.
Your financial data is in safe hands with us through our secure and user-friendly customer portal at prosperitytax.com. It's your one-stop shop for all things tax-related. Log in anytime anytime, from anywhere, whether it's from your couch or on the go.
We are experienced tax professionals well-versed in handling a variety of tax situations. Receive genuine assistance and competitive pricing from real tax professionals who've seen it all.
We're marking 2 decades as a community-based enterprise here in Waco, Texas. So call us at 254-235-5662 or log on to www.prosperitytax.com. Thanks, guys.
NSJ Event Co., one of the premier event designers in Central Texas and a Centex Sports Network supporter. Voted Waco Awards Event Planner of the Year 2021, NSJ Event Co. is your go-to source for event planning. Whether it's your next baby shower, birthday bash, wedding, or retirement party, NSJ Event Co. will bring out the elegance, class, and style your event deserves. Call NSJ Event Co. at the number on the screen or scan the QR code to schedule a free consultation. NSJ Event Co., where the party lady takes care of all your event needs.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. KWBT-FM, HD2 Waco, Temple, Killeen, Fort Cavazos. The new leader in sports in Central Texas is Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
What is that?
It's time to get in the game.
Do you know what time it is?
Tune in to Primetime Sports Talk with Jalen Gillis.
Truly, you are nothing.
Your go-to source for breaking sports news in Central Texas and exclusive Dallas Cowboys coverage.
Start it up, let's go.
Catch us Monday through Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. on the Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into Centex Prime Time. I am your host, Jalen Gillis, as we get ready to take you through the primetime topics in sports, not just in the Central Texas area, but from all around the nation. Happy Thursday to everybody out there as we're listening on, those of you listening on Centex Magic 94.5. Hope everybody's staying warm out there in the Central Texas area and all over Texas. We didn't get any snow or anything crazy like that, but we are getting some rain. We're getting some rain. We're getting some cold weather. So definitely hope everybody is staying warm out there and staying safe out there driving on those roads. For those of you watching on YouTube, Centex Sports TV on YouTube, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Also, you can click the bell so you can get notified every time that we go live here Monday through Thursday, 5 to 7 p.m. right here on Centex Prime Time. Well, just got done wrapping up hour number 1, talking about some talking about some NBA. We've got to talk about a few different teams, and we did our top 5 teams playing in the NBA right now. And want to switch over and get a chance to talk about some football as we move towards NFL Wild Card Weekend this weekend. And also, MCC basketball will be on Saturday. I said tomorrow earlier. I meant to say Saturday. Got my days mixed up. MCC basketball will be on Saturday, though, 2 and 4 o'clock. So make sure you guys tune in to Centex Sports Network to be able to catch that. Want to switch to some NFL talk. Like I said, NFL Wild Card Weekend is this weekend. College football playoffs start in about 45 minutes, really about 30 minutes now, as we get ready to go over and talk about that as well. Still joined on here by Kyrell Gibson as we get ready to go through some of these football topics. Before we get started, and we're going to do our NFL awards today. We're going to do MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. We're going to name our All-Pro team, all of that right here on the show. So stay tuned and stay locked in for that. Before we get started, Kyrell, you weren't on the show the last couple of days when we got a chance to talk about your Dallas Cowboys, man. I know this is a great time of year for you wanting to talk about your Cowboys, but they've been in the media, obviously, for multiple reasons. The whole Mike McCarthy situation, we played the sound a couple of days ago, Jerry Jones saying, well, I'll let him walk and go see what's out there, which is just crazy to say about your coach. Then he compared him to Ezekiel Elliott. That's almost an insult. Saying, well, I'll let Zeke do it. It's just kind of just like that situation. It's like, okay, Mike McCarthy and Zeke are not at the same points in their career at all. Zeke is at the end of his career. Mike McCarthy won 12 games 3 years in a row. That's 2 completely different situations. But then we see he backdoors and contradicts himself as always because he blocks Mike McCarthy from going and talking to the Bears, thus leaving us to believe that Mike McCarthy is going to be the coach of the Cowboys. I think his contract expires on the 14th, which is next Tuesday, I think. And then there's the news of Micah Parsons on his podcast the other day saying that the Cowboys are going to be holding up the trophy next year. They'll be holding up the Super Bowl trophy. I don't know why Micah Parsons says some of the things he says, but that's why he's Micah Parsons. But he goes out there and says they're going to be holding up the trophy next year. and that kind of started up an uproar as well. So what was your thoughts on those couple Cowboys topics before we jump into our NFL awards?
Oh man, that's Micah doing Jerry's work. For one, two, yeah. When that came out and was like pretty much back to Mike McCarthy, I knew he wasn't leaving. Couple like many weeks ago.
Yeah, that was about a month ago.
Yeah, so when that happened, I knew Mike McCarthy wasn't getting fired. So I've kind of, I think like the local radio station up here, they've been kind of talking about it as well. Like they had the same suspicions, like Mike's gonna come back. And you know what? Hey, whatever. Like whatever, brother. Like I don't know what you want to do, man. Like this team has so many holes that need to be filled. You don't have a top 5 quarterback. You got a French top 10 guy in there making the most amount of money. So you got to deal with it, man. You got to draft well, get you some. You got to hit on all your draft picks, get you a second receiver. Brandon Cooks is cooked. Your third receiver is probably going to be a different person next year. Your tight end ain't that good either. It's not looking great. Your offensive line is building. Your defensive line you got holes, man. I don't know what you want to do. Like Micah, I don't know if that's like he's just that type of guy. I'm gonna win. He can probably go out there and lose in Madden 100 times and be like, I'm gonna beat you this time. That's probably the type of dude he is. But we not doing that. We'll do better because we'll have a third place schedule next year. But we versus the first place when we had this year.
Mm-hmm.
But that we'll do better. But Super Bowl, man, I don't know. Like unless we hit on like a stud receiver and we go back to having the number one offense in the league, that's legit number one offense. I'm thinking I almost said Jay Ajayi, but Ashton Genty.
You thinking picking him at 12?
Man, they need the number one thing they need is to invest in their investment, which is Dak Prescott, right? So you got to give him everything he needs to make him worth $60 million a year, right? Because if not, like, why? You just gonna keep throwing them to the wolves and just let them be bad? You already gave them the money; it's guaranteed. Like,
so if Luther Burden and Mbuka are on the board, you picking Ashton Genty at 12?
Yeah. Neither one of those guys are like. I get like Luther Burden is nice, Buka is nice, but neither one of them are going to be to me are a game changer at receiver. I don't see those guys developing into potential number ones. Like they're nice though, but to me, like you wasn't a guy when you was when you was in the. And I know Jeremiah Smith is a dog, and I know Luther Burden was a dog in Mizzou, but it's Mizzou, and you was and Ibuka was secondary to Jeremiah Smith as a freshman. You let a freshman. I know Jeremiah Smith.
Man, he can't help that. Jeremiah Smith gonna be the number one pick in the draft.
He can't. But my thing is, man, Jamar Chase was a top recruit, right? And he still couldn't come in and outdo Justin Jefferson. You know what I'm saying? Like Justin
what
Jefferson.
You talking about?
Still,
he did. He did. He was number one. Chase was number one option. At LSU? Oh man, you tripping? Jettas had that one game where
he was equal.
Nah,
it was just Chase was younger, so he got hyped more. But like Justin Jefferson was still like that.
Where did Jettas get picked in the draft?
Yeah, I can't remember.
25th. Where did Chase get picked? 6th. They different, bro. They been different. Chase been different. Chase been different.
I feel you, man. But though the years they was there, I can't say DeMar outshined him. The year he was there, it wasn't like this.
No, it wasn't like this. It wasn't like this. That's because Mbuka's not Jettas, but yeah, it wasn't like this.
Okay, so I just don't see. I would pick a running back, somebody that can take it, because I feel like you can find a number 2 later in that draft at receiver. You can find a player like that later down, but you're not gonna find what I believe Genty to be, at later in the draft. And I just don't like those. I don't like those receivers prospects. Now, if you told me you could get
McMillan,
if you could tell me you can get the Arizona kid, I'd do that. I'll do that.
He's there at 10 still. Do you trade up and go get him?
I'm not trading up. Not for him. No, I'm not trading up.
I'll trade up and go. Man, he's 6'5".
Yeah, and he got hands.
Yeah, I'm trading up and going to get him. I don't think he's going to be there at 10, but I'm just saying if something happens and he got there at 10. But, I mean, the Cowboys, they're definitely going to address offense. I would go receiver because this running back class is crazy coming out. Ashton Genty is good. I get all of that. But there's plenty of running backs. Plenty of running backs. And you don't need a running back to come in. He's not going to be Adrian Peterson when he comes in. You just need somebody that's going to come and get you. Be DeMarco Murray. That's what they need. So, I mean, Amari and Hampton is still going to be there. It's a lot of backs. It's at least 10 good backs coming out this year. Probably one of the best running back classes.
Combine, man. I know the tape is what matters, but this is one of these. I got to see the combine. Let me see what you look like on paper. Let me see if you get out there and really run a true 4.3, or you a low 4.5. And I know, and then I can kind of like rank these things. But right now, it's just too close for me to be like, yeah, this is a for sure pick over guys. Now McMillan, yeah, that's gonna be because I see Fitzgerald, honestly.
He's a dog.
I really do see Fitzgerald when I see McMillan. He has those type of hands to me. But outside of that, man, yeah, running back or receiver. I don't want to play no games.
Yeah, Cowboys got to go offense.
Jackson help.
They got to go offense first round. I don't think there's any way getting around it. If you're not going to take a running back, I mean, if you're not going to take a receiver, yeah, you could take Genty at 12 because Genty's still going to be there at 12. I see Genty going around late teens if the Cowboys don't pick him. But they definitely going to need somebody in the offensive end. Like you said, all your money's going to Dak.
Is a tight end coming out, Penn State?
Yeah, Tyler Warren's coming out.
Okay, I would like him as well. I would probably take him
at 12
over. Maybe.
Go watch the tight end at Bowling Green. That'll change your opinion. Go watch it. He's a monster. Okay. He is an absolute monster. He broke every single tight end record in college, probably ever, this year. But he was just at Bowling Green. But he's finna get paid too. He's finna come out and he'll be a first round pick. But yeah, Cowboys got a lot of holes to fill. So they'll have a lot to do going into this off season. Folks, like I said, it is the end of the year, so I wanted to do our NFL awards here on the show. Got Kyrell on here with me to do these NFL awards because I know he'll go into the weeds and stuff and try to find some people, especially doing these all-pro teams. But I want to do some of the NFL awards. I want to give out our MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and our Coach of the Year before we get to our first team. I only picked for first team all-pro. You might do the second team, Kyrell, but I only did first team. And this year for MVP, I think it's kind of obvious, even though it's not obvious. I'm hearing a lot of Josh Allen. It's got to be Lamar Jackson, folks. Let's not play around here. Lamar Jackson is playing like the best player in the NFL. Whether he's a quarterback or anything, he's playing like the best player in the NFL. Like you brought up on this show the other day, Kyrell. Go look at Lamar Jackson's 4 picks. Those are not his picks. He hit somebody in the hands, and they dropped him, and they ended up getting picked off. Like his last one was against the Steelers, and that was weeks ago, and I think that was his last interception that he threw. 4,000 yards, top 5 in yards, tied for second on touchdowns, 41, and I think he's got almost 50 total touchdowns when he throws rushing touchdowns in there. Over 5,000 total yards when he throws rushing yards. He almost rushed for 1,000. This dude almost threw for 4,000 yards and rushed for 1,000. He's like 800-something. Only 4 picks. He's first in QBR in the league. His team is playing great. Man, this got to be Lamar Jackson's MVP, and I don't think it's too much debate with him. I've heard multiple people have come on the show and said Josh Allen as well, and I've heard Josh Allen said on other shows and stuff, and Josh Allen did have a great year. But Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson. He needs to be the three-peat for an MVP, man, and I think it's got to be Lamar. Who you got on the MVP?
Yeah, man. Josh Allen is the narrative MVP if you like stories.
Yeah.
But the best player in the league this year was Lamar Jackson. Like this is an all-time quarterback season, production wise. And I'm gonna keep saying it, man. Those 4 picks are all drops.
Yeah.
He didn't throw no picks, guys. Y'all hear me? Please. He did not throw an interception, and he has the most touchdowns. So, well, I don't know if Burrow has more, but he might. But he's
I think he got the most total touchdowns.
Okay, he has the most total touchdowns, right? So I don't want to hear nothing about old dude in Buffalo, man. I don't care no more. It's a wrap. Just Josh Allen, yeah, they're great. They won more games. I hear you, man. But watch, like, if at some point we gotta cut on the tape. Watch the highlights, man. You don't even gotta watch the games. Just watch the highlights. Because if you watch the games, it's clear and evident who you want on your team. But just watch the highlights and you tell me the degree of difficulty you see from Josh Allen versus the things we see Lamar Jackson do, and tell me who's the better player and who made the better plays. Hey, it's just as simple as that. And then we could cut it off right there. But if you want to keep going, the stats, it's a wrap, man. It's a wrap.
The stats is
You
it's
wanna
not
talk?
close to me. I don't
Not
get
even
how that's
close.
not a like I don't get
It's
it.
not even close. You want to talk about, he got Dan Henry? Josh Allen got James Cook. Okay? Okay, James Cook was a dog this year. Derrick Henry literally was on the was boy, they didn't I didn't even want to get him drafted. They wasn't even drafting him in fantasy football because they thought he was dead.
Yeah.
Figuratively.
Yeah.
Dead in the water as a running back. And you telling me that couldn't do nothing in Tennessee last year, and he comes to Lamar, and now he's a top 2 rusher again in the league? Because I was debating him putting on my All Pro team up until about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Honestly, and for me, that's all Lamar. That's not Derrick Henry. He was dead in the water in Tennessee. And then you come here and you gotta respect that read option on Lamar, and all of a sudden, dude is going crazy again. Because you can literally see the linebackers freezing, worried about Lamar bootlegging out.
Yeah.
That's all Lamar. That's all Lamar. And now that he has a running back, I'm coming out and saying it, man. Y'all gonna understand how little Lamar has had over the first years of his career, and what he can really do when he has some talent on his team. It's a wrap. I'm telling you, the only thing that's gonna stop him is that Buffalo Wild Wings button and the Chiefs suite and the Chiefs press box. That's the only thing that's gonna stop him.
No, seriously. I mean,
It's not
that's the
gonna
only
be
thing that
Buffalo.
has stopped him. That's the only thing that has stopped him. And I see, I hate to keep bringing up Stephen A., but he says crazy stuff on ESPN. I see him talking about why Josh Allen is the better pick and how he's doing this. We got to hold Lamar to this standard because he's got multiple MVPs. I'm like, Josh Allen hasn't won an MVP and he hasn't been to a Super Bowl. So how was he getting judged less because Lamar is better than him? So we got to judge Lamar harder and say that Josh Allen is better because Lamar should be doing more. That whole argument doesn't make any sense. None of that makes any sense. Josh Allen's total touchdowns, because Josh Allen only threw for 28 touchdowns. His total touchdowns is lower than the amount of touchdowns that Lamar just threw for. Lamar threw for 41 touchdowns. Josh Allen's total touchdowns is 40. Like I don't how is this a debate? I don't get how this is a debate like that. His stats are more superior in everything than Josh Allen's.
Everything.
And the only reason you're saying he's better is because he got Derrick Henry. That's it. Because they're saying, oh, look at all these weapons. They weren't weapons before, but now they're weapons because Derrick Henry's there. Now Zay Flowers is a top receiver, which we know he's not. Now Mark Andrews, who was a top tight end, probably had his worst year in the last 4 or 5 years this year. So what are we talking about? I don't get it. It's Lamar Jackson for MVP. Y'all can go to YouTube, Centex Sports Network TV. Jump in the chat. Let us know if you think we tripping. But it's Lamar Jackson as the MVP, man. I don't know. I think that's a pretty.
Dude gets more credit for one shootout with Patrick Mahomes.
And
they've literally rode that for so many years. This dude led the league in picks for 3 years. He was having an Eli. He was in his Eli Manning era, like
Literally.
seriously, without winning Super Bowls. That's how many picks he was throwing. But because he had a shootout with Patrick Mahomes, oh, this guy's so talented. So did Jared Goff.
Yep.
Okay, and you see what happened. He stopped winning. He started throwing picks. Y'all let him go do what he was supposed to do. Why won't y'all do the same thing with Josh Allen? Like, Lamar has been consistent. He deserves this triple crown, man. Or, not the real triple crown, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, this third MVP. I mean, it's crazy. They want Josh Allen to be that guy so bad. They've been doing it for years. They've been trying to make him, even when he was throwing the picks, it's like, but man, look at the way he throws the ball. Like, bro, what are you talking about? He threw 5 picks. I'm looking at how he threw the ball. It was to the other team. But, so Lamar for MVP. I don't get it. I'm tired of hearing this Josh Allen stuff. If he wins it, We all know the real reason why. Everybody stay woke. We know the real reason why he didn't win that. Lamar don't look like that 3-time MVP winner. He got the side braids. He got plaits. For some of my older listeners, he got plaits in his head. Yeah, he sound like he from Miami.
Shift, man.
No,
they didn't like the great shift.
The facts though. That's why they don't want him to get that MVP. But he's for sure deserving the MVP, playing like the best player in the league. Want to go over the offensive?
They might as well get used to it.
Yeah, they do. They should get used to it because he's only
Cam Ward, Shador coming in next year.
Come on,
hey, come on, man! It's finna be over with.
Get used to it.
Only have about 2 or 3. Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, and who else?
And that's the type.
Burrow.
That's the type of quarterback that getting extinct is the Baker Mayfield. When you the dudes, the pale guys that's going to be left around is going to be a Joe Burrow type of dude. The Baker Mayfield, your good old traditional guy. Hey, those guys are getting washed out. The Matt Staffords. Those guys are getting washed out, man. They're going to playing baseball now. They're not playing football anymore.
Whole NFC East finna be black next year, man.
Facts.
Like, I'm just gonna say it.
Facts. If the Giants finally break that streak of never hiring a black person to do anything besides tackle people like Antonio Pierce.
Yeah.
If they finally break that streak, then yeah, the whole NFC East will be black, which it should be. Which it should be. And that'll be great to see. Philly's a black city. Washington, D.C. is a black city. I would love to see that be able to happen out there in the NFC East. I want to go over the Offensive Player of the Year. I think this is another one that's pretty consensus, or at least it should be. Saquon Barkley. I still don't know what's wrong with the Eagles for leaving them off and not letting them go and play. Y'all better win the Super Bowl. Y'all let them break the record. This is where being a nice guy doesn't get you far. Saquon Barkley's too much of a nice guy to say, bro, I'll go out there and play with the threes. You something we don't want to have to start the starters. Cool, don't start the starters. Just start me. I'll go play with the threes and go break the record. There's a reason this record's been around 30, 40 years. It's hard to be able to do that. I don't think somebody's rushed for 2,000 yards twice. This might be your only chance to be able to try to break this record, and they don't even give you the chance to. But still, even with all of that, phenomenal season for Saquon Barkley. 2,000 yards on the year, 13 touchdowns, and he probably should have had 20-something touchdowns. We know the tush-push thing in Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts had like 17 rushing touchdowns. Something crazy. You should not have got those touchdowns. Those were all Saquon's touchdowns. They just gave them to Jalen Hurts. Yeah, he had 14 touchdowns. At least 10 of those should have been Saquon's touchdowns. But Saquon still had a really great year. Over 2,000 yards, 13 touchdowns. Offensive Player of the Year, I think, should be Saquon Barkley. Who you got as Offensive Player of the Year?
I do not have Saquon Barkley. I got mistake. Yeah, I got the triple. Jamar Chase won the Triple Crown, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah, I respect that, man. Those touchdowns should be Saquon Barkley's. But hey, they didn't give him to him. They gave him to Mr. They gave him Mr. Kangle hat. That's what they gave him to. Yeah, man. I respect the Triple Crown. Saquon. I actually have his left tackle on my All-Pro team. So I think Jamar Chase's season has been more impressive to me. Barely. It's close. Barely, but I saw another dominant rusher this year. I didn't really see another dominant receiver like I saw Jamar Chase do this year. Like he was Triple Crown, I feel like is that's 2,000 yards for a receiver, you know? Like that's I kind of equate those to the same thing. Like you do all that, most catches, most touchdowns, most yards. That's crazy to me. So I would actually go Jamar Chase, but I don't fault anybody for having Saquon because I actually have Saquon as second in my MVP race. If you want to be honest, with just like totality of a team, you know, I'm thoroughly against quarterbacks only being considered for the awards. So that's really a big motivator why I have him second. But yeah, I'm actually gonna go Jamar Chase for OPOI.
I ain't mad at that. Triple Crown is a crazy award to be able to go out there and win. I ain't taking nothing away from that. I'm not mad at that whatsoever as far as picking him there. I like Saquon at that spot, but that's not a bad pick at all. Triple Crown winning. I think Cooper Kupp and can't even remember who did it before. Cooper Kupp did it. Maybe I don't know if you got to go all the way back to the 90s to Sterling Sharp to see another Triple Crown winner. I can't even remember, but yeah, that's a tough award. And Jamar Chase had an all-time season as well, so I'm not mad at that pick whatsoever. Going over the Defensive Player of the Year, this is one that's kind of just take your pick. You know, they always give it to pass rushers a lot. but I think that linebackers and DBs should be considered more for this award. So at my Defensive Player of the Year, I got Pat Surtain, man. I think Pat Surtain has had an all-time great season as a corner, similar to Stephon Gilmore whenever he won it a few years ago. I think that was in 2021. I think Pat Surtain is having that type of season. Their defense is playing phenomenal. They've got a top edge rusher in Bolito, and I think a lot of that is because of Surtain. When you looked at his stats and the amount of catches he was giving guys when he's isolated one-on-one coverage against Metcalf, Mike Evans, Garrett Wilson, Jerry Jeudy, Jamar Chase, everybody. No one had good games on him. Nobody had a good game on Pat Surtain, and he's playing one-on-one bump and run coverage against the top receivers in the league. I got Pat Surtain as my Defensive Player of the Year. I think he's had a phenomenal year, and he's definitely on my first team All-Pro team. Who you guys Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah, I usually lean towards the pass rushers, man. But nobody did enough for me this year. Like, I feel like there hasn't been a dominant year, for me in a couple years from these guys, and I think Pat Surtain had the most impact on defense. Bumper run corner. Went up against the top guys, and nobody had a good game against him. Nobody. Had a couple of huge plays on the season. I think he had a 100-yard touchdown reception this year, which is, hey man, that's hey man, corners I love that, man. So I'm going Pat Surtain. I know a couple guys was putting TJ Watt up in there just because
they just go to him as a default.
Just a default, but I looked at his numbers and I'm like, man, this dude was run of the mill. This dude got a Justin Tuck season, man. I don't know what you want to call it. It's run of the mill, man. So I'm definitely a Pat Surtain guy. I would even put I'm a Pat Surtain guy. I'm not gonna say that next part.
I thought about Benito from Denver though, man. He's had a great. Every time I watch Denver play, it's been a couple of times. He's in the backfield every single play, man. I think Benito has had a great year as well. Trey Hendrickson, I feel like he always just ends up with sacks, even though he led the league in sacks this year, and I definitely respect it. But he's one of those guys like, okay, there's nobody open, and then somebody ends up getting sacked, and it's Hendrickson that comes up with a sack. But I do respect it. But Pat Surtain has had an all-time great season as a corner, like for anybody. So I got to give that edge to Pat Surtain. Coach of the Year. My Coach of the Year got to go to Minnesota Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell, man. Nobody had these guys winning anything. I know I didn't. I had them for sure smack dab third place in their division. And these dudes went out here and won 14 games. Provided by Sam Darnold, Jettas, Brian Flores. If they had a coordinator of the year, it would definitely be him, in my opinion. Nobody's done better as just a coordinator, in my opinion, this year than Brian Flores. But Kevin O'Connell was part of picking him to that staff, so I got to give him credit for that. And then the way that he dialed up that offense all year long. So I got Kevin O'Connell as my Coach of the Year, head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. Who you got for Coach of the Year?
Yeah, that's an easy choice, man. It's dude revived Sam Darnold's career. Sam Darnold went 14-2. And Sam Darnold was always that quarterback that we always felt like, man, I feel like the Jets might have messed that up. That might be the Jets' fault, and was always talented. So Kevin O'Connell gets that trophy easily. Shout out Brian Flores too. He had a big part of it, especially early in the season with how that defense was playing. But Kevin O'Connell, man, you had J.J. McCarthy out there, he goes down. So really that's your backup quarterback, or what you thought was your backup quarterback that you just went 14-2 with and had a chance at the 1 seed, right? Yeah. So, that's easy money. Kevin O'Connell, salute to you, sir, and how you got the Minnesota Vikings looking.
He's got them playing like you said. You play for the 1 seed, and you came in with your backup quarterback starting, and Sam Darnold's going to end up getting paid a lot of money this offseason. A lot of that is due to Kevin O'Connell, man. So shout out to the Vikings. Shout out Kevin O'Connell, even though I might have them going home this weekend, and we'll talk about that in just a second. We got to take one last quick break, folks. When we come back, we'll list our NFL All-Pro teams to end out our NFL awards. We'll talk about this Penn State Notre Dame that's about to come on any minute now, and I'll look at a couple of these games for this week in the NFL Wildcard Weekend. Stay locked in right here on Centex Primetime. We'll be right back after this short break.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen Gillis.
Act like y'all.
Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the Central Texas #1 leader in sports. Centex Sports Network.
That's right, sports fans. We can talk about sports.
And Infinity Sports.
Lighthouse Streaming, a full-scale media agency and your go-to source for all things audio and video. Is your church long overdue for audio and video upgrades? Call Lighthouse Streaming for a free consultation. Does your corporate or church event need audio or video production? Don't stress. Call the guys at Lighthouse Streaming. In business since 2017, Lighthouse Streaming has produced hundreds of live events and completed dozens of church and venue installations. Whatever your AV needs are, Lighthouse Streaming has you covered. Give them a call at 254-252-4206. That's 254-252-4206. Or go to lighthousestreaming.com and set up your free consultation.
Hey guys, it's Rocky and Keisha, and at Prosperity Tax Service, we're all about convenience. We get it. Life is busy. Your time is valuable. That's why we've streamlined the entire process to be as hassle-free as possible.
No more sifting through piles of paperwork or spending hours at an office. With Prosperity Tax Service, you can handle your taxes from the comfort of your own home.
Your financial data is in safe hands with us through our secure and user-friendly customer portal at prosperitytax.com. It's your one-stop shop for all things tax-related. Log in anytime from anywhere, whether it's from your couch or on the go.
We are experienced tax professionals well-versed in handling a variety of tax situations. Receive genuine assistance and competitive pricing from real tax professionals who've seen it all.
We're marking 2 decades as a community-based enterprise here in Waco, Texas. So call us at 254-235-5662 or log on to www.prosperitytax.com. Thanks, guys.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. KWBT-FM, HD2 Waco, Temple, Killeen, Fort Cavazos. The new leader in sports in Central Texas is Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Tune in to Primetime Sports Talk with Jalen Gillis.
We can talk about sports. Listen, it's that time now.
This is live from the Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports Studios.
We live.
Stay ready to voice your thoughts by calling 1-800-215-0598. Right here on Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into Centex Primetime, home stretch of the show here. Want to thank everybody for tuning in with me today, and not only today, but all week long. We've had a lot of fun up here, Centex Primetime this week. Like I said before, hope everybody's staying warm out there as we got some inclement weather. Kyrell's up there in Dallas. I'm sure it's a lot colder and probably snowing at this point up there in the Dallas area. So want to thank everybody once again for tuning in with us today and all week long. Just got done wrapping up an hour number 2, first part of hour number 2, talking about our NFL awards. We gave out our MVPs, Defensive Player of the Years, all of that. And now I want to get into our NFL All-Pro team before we talk a little bit about this Notre Dame and Penn State game that's about to come on any minute now. I'll see them bringing out the flag over there on the field. And we'll get a chance to talk about a couple of these games going into NFL Wild Card Weekend as well. Before we do that, like I said, I want to get the NFL awards out of the way. Our first team All-Pro, it's the only one I'm doing. First team All-Pro. My first team All-Pro team is going to look a little bit like my first part of the NFL awards. I'll just start with offense, and then I'll let Kyrell go to do his offense. In my quarterback spot, it's got to be Lamar Jackson. 5,000 total yards, 46 total touchdowns. I think it's pretty simple. This dude has played phenomenal all year long. In my running back spot, I got my Offensive Player of the Year, Saquon Barkley. Over 2,000 yards, had the best season as a running back. Even though Derrick Henry was a close second to throw in on my first team All-Pro team here. At my wide receivers, 3 wide receiver spots that they give out on the All-Pro team. I got Jamar Chase. Kyrell just finished talking about him. Outstanding season from Jamar Chase. Triple Crown winner. Led the league in catches, yards, and touchdowns. Has 17 touchdowns. That's a lot of touchdowns as a receiver. 1,700 yards, 17 touchdowns, and got 127 catches. Phenomenal season by him. At my second receiver on the All-Pro team, I got to give him his counterpart, Justin Jefferson, Jettis. 103 catches, 1,500 yards, and 10 touchdowns on the season. Had a phenomenal season. At my third spot, there's a lot of different ways you could have went. Brian Thomas had a phenomenal year. Drake London ended the year really, really great. I think he's starting to ascend and finally start to reach that potential that he had. CeeDee Lamb is always in that conversation. But League Neighbors had a great year. Brian Thomas had a great year. But I got to give it to Amon-Ra St. Brown. When he's fifth in the league in yards, just barely, like 20 yards behind being third place for yards on the season. 115 catches, I think second in the league in catches. And he also had 12 touchdowns. So I got to get at my third spot to Amon-Ra. I think he's played great. He earned that first-team All-Pro offense. And then the last spot on my first-team All-Pro offense, and I'll let Kyrell go, as a tight end spot. Multiple ways you could have went here. George Kittle had a great season as well. But for my tight end spot, I'm going to give it to the rookie and Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers had 82 catches. Had 112 catches this year. Had almost 1,200 yards and 5 touchdowns. Now, the Raiders were terrible, but he was definitely a bright spot. Brock Bowers is going to be a guy in that top tight end conversation for the next 5 to 8 years probably going. So that's my first team All-Pro on the offensive side. Kyrell, who do you got on your offensive side for first team All-Pro?
So Lamar, kind of self-explanatory. Saquon at the running back. Receivers is, pretty easy again. Until we get to that slot or that third guy. So, Jettas, Chase. And then for my third guy, I don't have Amon-Ra St. Brown. Even though I definitely respect anybody, and I know I'm going to be an outlier because, Amon-Ra, I don't think he dropped the ball all year. So, there is going to be a A.J. Brown appearance for me at that third spot. If you look at his touches versus yards, I just really respect people that do the most with the amount of touches they get. So that's my reasoning for having A.J. Brown up in there, man. Tight end spot, will not argue about Brock Bowers. I believe he's the best tight end in the game already. And then, but I'm going to go with Kittle. I just feel
Kittle had a great year too.
Yeah, I just feel like his blocking. I just really respect Greg Kittle when he's attached to that offensive line, man. And Brock Bowers, who else were they throwing the ball to? No, Jacoby Myers had 1,000 yards, but come on, man.
Nobody. They weren't throwing to nobody.
So shout out Brock Bowers, man. But I'm giving that spot to Greg Kittle. Left tackle, I got Mailata. Left guard, I have, I don't remember his name, but I got Creed Humphrey at center. I got Nelson from the Colts. He returned to form this year.
Yeah.
And then my right tackle, I can't remember his name, but who cares about the line?
I forgot to do my lineman. My lineman was about the same. I had Mailata at tackle. I had at left tackle. At right tackle, I had Tristan Wirfs. I had Tyler Smith from the Cowboys, matter of fact, at my other guard, and Quentin Nelson at my other guard, and then Creed Humphrey, best center in the league too as well. But I'll let you go ahead and go with your defense. I went first on offense. I'll let you go first with your defensive side of the ball.
Defense side of the ball. Okay, yeah. All right. At the edges, I got, man, I know people so the NFLPA had Hendrickson because he led the league in sacks. Bruh. I don't like him, man. I just feel like he just be just be back. I don't know. He don't be having no moves for real, bro.
He has no moves.
I'm not going for it, man. So I'm gonna actually throw T.J. Watt and Myles Garrett up in there just for the sake of it. And then I'm gonna go Dexter Lawrence and Chris Jones for my two inside guys. That's the edge rushers. I already did my edge rushers. Inside linebacker, Roquan. And God, really, I'm putting so many Eagles on here. But the Eagles linebacker, man. What's his name? Zach Bond.
A monster.
Yeah. No, didn't nobody want to talk about him all year. I was looking at him like, man, this dude has been going crazy. Yeah, so him. And then at safety, I got, oh man. I'm going to go with Xavier McKinney. Okay. At safety, and Kyle Hamilton, he's probably he's looking like he's gonna be a decader I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
Facts.
And then at corner, I don't like Trent McDuffie, but I also don't want to give you satisfaction of putting Stingley up there.
Yeah, you know that's where he's supposed to be. Derek Stingley.
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna go Stingley and obviously DPOY over there, and then yeah, man. Throw my Cowboy up there, man, for kicker. I know you weren't gonna mention him, but
I wasn't gonna do kicker, but Brent, he hey, ain't nobody. He probably scored more points than anybody this year. Man,
he scored more points on our offense for sure.
Yeah, like.
But yeah, man, that's my defense and special teams. Turpin too. Get my Cowboys in there.
Yeah, Turpin.
Aubrey and Turpin.
There we go. You had to get him on special teams somewhere. So at my defense, I got a lot of the same guys in my defense. Now I thought about putting Micah in at edge, even though he missed games. Still 12 sacks. That's kind of crazy, and he missed 4 or 5 games, and was still tied for 4th, I think, in sacks this year. Micah there, but at my edges, I got Hendrickson. Even though you don't like him, I got to respect 17.5 sacks, man. That's no easy get. I got him and Myles Garrett out there. Myles Garrett could be Defensive Player of the Year. We kind of judge him like we do Aaron Donald. We get bored with him, and he has phenomenal seasons every year, and sometimes his team sucks like they did this year, so we forget about him. But Myles Garrett is, as long as he's in the league, not as long as he's in the league, but most of the time while he's in the league, he's going to be the best defensive player in the league. So I still got him on my first team All-Pro. Inside guys, I got Dexter Lawrence. I don't think anybody had a better year than him on the inside. And on the other tackle spot, I'm going to put Jalen Carter in that spot, man. Jalen Carter, I think, really affected that Eagles defense in a great way. Completely unblockable. I mean, just throwing guys out of there. The Zach Allen guy from the Broncos, he had a great year as well. I almost put him in there, but I'll give Jalen Carter the edge. I think he's just a better player than I think Jalen Carter's just a better player than Zach Allen. But Zach Allen,
I left him out intentionally, bro, because I didn't do that satisfaction.
You didn't want to do too many Eagles.
Yeah,
man, I'm telling you, bro.
It wasn't even that. It's because of the 2 years ago, a year ago.
Yeah. When we talked about Jalen Carter, man, I'm telling you, bro, that guy is unblockable. I don't know what they're doing to them guys out there in Georgia. It seems like the more trouble they get into Georgia, the better they are as players. I don't know how that works out, but ended up working out. I got him there, and I thought about Leonard Williams too, but I wasn't sure if he plays a true inside. But he had a great 5, 6, 7 last games of the year out there in Seattle. But I got Jalen Carter at the other inside. Of my linebackers, I got Zaire Franklin, had a phenomenal year again, led the league in tackles again. He's had a really good year. I got Roquan Smith, probably the best linebacker in the league outside of Fred Warner. Warner missed too many games, got hurt. And then Zach Bond, like you said. Nobody talked about him. I talk about him on the show all the time, but he's not getting a lot of national media for guys talking about him. He played great for that Eagles defense that really started playing good at the end of the year. So I definitely got to put him in my All-Pro team. At corner, I got the same as you, man. Derek Stingley, for sure. Got to be in there. Earned his spot as a top 3 corner. Better than Sauce Gardner. Everybody thought Sauce was going to be better than him because them 2 first-team All-Pros the first couple years. Just give Stingley a little time. He was hurt his first couple years. He's come on top 3 corner in the league, really number 2 corner in the league, in my opinion. And then Pat Surtain on the other side, Defensive Player of the Year. I already talked about him, man. Just phenomenal season. At slot, I'm going to put Kyle Hamilton in there. Kyle Hamilton played a lot of that star position, a lot of that nickel corner position, kind of third linebacker, nickel corner, wherever you want to put him at for the Ravens this year. Like you said, this dude's going to be on the all-decade team. I think he's one of the last of the crash outs at safety. I miss, as a person that grew up watching 2000s football, I miss having crash outs at safety. Somebody's just going to try to take your head off regardless what's going on. If it's a penalty, it ain't a penalty. I don't care who's coming across the middle. I'm finna hit somebody. Kyle Hamilton is that best safety in the NFL, in my opinion. What Jamal Adams was supposed to be, shout out Jamal Adams, man. He got released by the Lions. I don't know what happened with that. I thought Jamal Adams was going to be an all-decade type of safety. And he's probably out the league now. But Kyle Hamilton, I put him at that slot. At my 2 safeties, I got Xavier McKinney and Kirby Joseph. 1 and 2 in picks on the year. Both played phenomenal football. Kirby Joseph, nobody has more picks than him since he's entered the league, I think 3 years ago. He's leading the league in picks since he's been in the league. Just an absolute ball hawk. Xavier McKinney, another player that the Giants let go, but that's the Giants. That's what they do. They get good talent and let him go, and now he leads the league in picks and is in the playoffs on the Packers. So, yeah, that's my all-pro team, man, and I think we had a lot of guys similar in there, but shout out to all of those dudes. I think the AP all-pro team doesn't come out until, another week or so. So we'll get to see if some of our picks are online. But that's what I had for our first team picks. Folks, the game just kicked off here. Notre Dame versus Penn State. The game just kicked off a couple of seconds ago as Notre Dame and Penn State taking each other on in the Orange Bowl, semifinal round of the college football playoffs. Kyrell, who do you like in this game, Penn State versus Notre Dame?
Man, it's been 10 seconds, bro, and I'm flipping my pick. I'm flipping my pick. I'm going with Penn State. Yeah, I just don't see. I don't see the same just talent. I really don't. I like Notre Dame. I mean, Penn State looks like they get a little more push. The nose guard for Notre Dame looks like he 220. I don't know what's going on, man, but I'm watching 10 take off right now. Yeah, it's over with, man. I'm taking Penn State.
Look, I tried to say this, and Rocky was on there arguing with me, but he's not the only one. Multiple people have argued with me about this Notre Dame pick. Notre Dame's defense has been playing some of the best football in this playoffs their defense has. I'll give them that. But their quarterback is terrible. I don't get it, and I know the game is coming on now, and he's got the perfect chance to be able to prove me wrong. I've been saying this all week. Their quarterback is terrible. Riley Leonard just won a game against Georgia where he threw for 90 yards. Like, this has got to stop, y'all. He played a backup quarterback against Georgia, and they played Indiana and only scored 27 points against an Indiana team that was way inferior to them. I got Penn State. Better quarterback. They got two running backs. Jeremiah Love is a great running back. They got two Jeremiah Loves on Penn State. Nick Singleton and Katron Allen. I've been saying their names all playoffs long on why they were going to win because Nick Singleton and Katron Allen. They've been playing great football all year. They're going to play great football in this game. For those of you that are watching, Nick Singleton just got like a 23-yard catch a second ago. Then they got Tyler Warren, who's the best tight end outside of the guy from Bowling Green. And on defense, they got the best pass rusher in college football outside of Colin Simmons and Jalen Walker, which is Abdul Carter. So I got to go Penn State, man. I picked them all week. I'm not moving off my pick. I think it's going to be a Big Ten matchup in the national championship game with Penn State versus Ohio State. And I think Ohio State's going to win it all. Those are the picks I've been saying. But in this game, I got Penn State being able to win this one. So you're moving the right direction, Kyrell, saying you moved off your pick there. I want to look at some of these NFL games just real quick while we got a couple minutes left here on the show and just go through some of these. First game on the slate, wild card weekend, Chargers, Texans. Obviously, I'm a Texas fan. I'm not moving off my pick. I'm picking the Texans. They're playing at home. I'm giving them the slight edge. But and I'm not shocked about what the outcome could be whatsoever. We still got guys missing on the offensive line. The guys that are there aren't good besides Laramie Tunzel. And we got no receivers outside of Nico Collins out there playing. But I still got faith in my guys. Who you got in this one? Chargers versus Texans. Right now they got Chargers favored by -3.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I'm going with the Chargers.
It's all right.
I think this is gonna be a sneaky Justin Herbert playoff show. We're going Herbert and Harbaugh playoff show, and I think y'all gonna be the first victim. I just think this is gonna be a Harbaugh game. It's gonna be ugly, like really not too high scoring at all. I'm thinking probably maybe 21-14 in that realm, 23-17, something like that. So yeah, I just that's just how I'm feeling about it, man. I'm going with the Chargers.
Yeah, I ain't mad at that. Wayne was on there too when he played for the Chargers, so he's been getting on me, and I know I'm gonna get a phone call if they do get beat by the Chargers as well. The other game on Saturday, Pittsburgh Steelers and Baltimore Ravens. This one is super interesting because obviously Steelers have been Lamar's kryptonite his entire career. Just got his first win over them a couple of weeks ago. Now he gets a chance to play them in the playoffs. I got Baltimore winning this one. I don't like this point spread at all. -9.5. For those of you that are going to play the spreads, I will stay away from that. Steelers versus Baltimore is always going to be a close game. 9.5 points is a lot of points in the NFL. I'm not taking that, but I will take Baltimore money line in this one over the Steelers. Steelers been playing just nasty football the last couple of weeks, man. Russell Wilson turned back into Russell Wilson. Everybody was on him because he threw for that 300, 400-yard game, whatever, a couple of weeks ago, and now he's right back to being Russell Wilson. 180 yards and a couple picks. I think that's what's going to happen in this game. I got Baltimore winning. Who you like, Pittsburgh and Baltimore?
I like Baltimore, man. This is one of them. Hey, this is a game, man. I don't care about no games outside the Cowboys now. But look, if Lamar go home in the first round,
I'm
gonna be upset.
I'll be sick.
I'm gonna be upset. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be upset. So I ain't even gonna think about the negative outcome. I'm taking Lamar. So here we go.
Yeah, I think Lamar's got the advantage in this one. And best player on the field, I got to go with that. Just like in this game, first game on Sunday, wild card weekend, Denver Broncos at Buffalo. It's probably going to be a blizzard in Buffalo. Might be 1 degree, something crazy like that. Buffalo's favorite, -8. Still a large point spread, but I do like Buffalo in this game. Even though I do like this Broncos team. I like their defense. I like the way they can get after. I think this one is going to be a sneaky close game. I'll give the edge to Buffalo. They got the better player. They got the best player on the field in this one, and that's Josh Allen. I think he's going to go out there and get the dub. Who you got in this one, Denver and Buffalo?
Yeah, Buffalo. Denver. They play good, man. I ain't gonna lie. They outperformed what I thought they were gonna do, but man, no. But dude, no. Buffalo. Not Josh Allen is on his tour just like Lamar is. Okay, they both trying to get over the hump. They're not losing to Denver or uh Pittsburgh. Okay, so let's just get this week out the way. Let's just go to the NFC where it's more interesting at. Man.
Yeah. No, honestly, yeah. That's the last game in the AFC. That's the 12 o'clock game on Sunday, Denver versus Buffalo. I like Buffalo, like I said. -8 is a lot of points. Just to be safe, I'm taking Buffalo money line on that one. To the NFC games. First game of the NFC, and I think this is the first time they've done that where they just played all the AFC games and then played the NFC game. I don't know if that was on purpose or what. But second game on the Sunday slate, NFC. This is a really good game. Green Bay versus Philly. Like I said a couple of days ago here on the show, Philly 14 wins on the season, and your reward for winning 14 games is you get to play Green Bay. I think that's kind of crazy, and that's just what happens when you don't earn the bye. The NFC is loaded right now. Green Bay is a really good team. Christian Watson got hurt in the last game of the season. I think that's going to hurt the Packers. I got Philly in this one, and I'll even take them at that -4.5 points that they're at right now on the spread. Who you liking this one, Green Bay and Philly?
Yeah, I'm liking Philly, man. All they gotta do is run the ball. Just run the ball.
Yeah.
All right. Don't try to test Xavier McKinney, bro. Because just run the ball. All right. Let's get take care of the ball, and then let Jordan Love try to do his thing, man. I'm going with Philly. I'm going with that front seven of Philly. I think they'll be able to stop Josh Jacobs and make Jordan Love have to turn into Aaron Rodgers like he did against us last year. And but I don't think he's gonna be able to do it. So I'm going with Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. Too much Saquon. As long as 2-6 is playing, I know that A.J. Brown is questionable and Devontae Smith questionable. All those guys are going to play. They're a little banged up. But if 2-6 is playing, I got them winning in that game. So I like Philly in that one. The last game on Sunday, the Sunday night game, this is probably the most competitive one. Washington Commanders and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay playing at home. They're a 3-point favorite in this game. Jaden Daniels, rookie of the year for sure, been playing phenomenal all year long. I like Tampa in this one. I think they just got a little bit more playoff experience. This Washington team is young. They're really devoid of a lot of playmakers. It's just Jaden Daniels going out there and going crazy every single week. I think this is where it stops. I think Tampa Bay has just got the better players in this one. I like Tampa Bay -3 in this game. Washington and Tampa Bay, who you got?
Man, I'm going with Washington, man. I'm going with Washington. And Daniels, I'm respecting the Hooper. Hey, we 29 this year, man. So I feel like I can say this, man. It's the battle of the old heads. Right?
For real.
The 10th iteration of Mike Evans and Marshawn Lattimore. Okay, we going
man.
It's
who was getting thrown out the game?
Man, who was getting thrown out the game? Seriously, and whoever gets thrown out, that's who gone. Well, they probably both gonna get thrown out, honestly. But I like Jaden Daniels, man. I think he's gonna be able to. We're gonna see some magic. I think this is gonna be the one that's gonna produce something for us, like as far as like historic play, and just a real what's it called, man? A moment in NFL playoffs this year.
Yeah.
So I think something special is gonna happen this game, man. And yeah, I'm going with Jaden Daniels in Washington. But salute Baker Mayfield. Won't be surprised they win. There's gonna be I think this is gonna be the best game of the whole weekend. So yeah, I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a really good game as well. And I'm probably rooting for Jaden Daniels and the Commanders in this game, even though I'm picking Tampa Bay to win. I just like Jaden Daniels in this story, and him coming in winning 12 games as a rookie is a lot, man. Last time we seen him was RG3, and he ain't get did the right way, so I want Jaden Daniels to be able to do the right thing here, and hopefully he goes out there and gets a win. But I like Tampa Bay in this game. Final game on the wild card slate, Minnesota versus the Rams. This is going to be a really good game. They saved it for Monday Night Football. As soon as we get off the show here, I'm going to try to get home as quick as I can to try to be able to watch this game. Minnesota versus the Rams. This is my upset game. I'm picking. Minnesota has played great all year long. I think the Rams are just a problem matchup for a lot of teams, and I think that team is going to be the Rams coming out with a victory in this one. Minnesota's a 1.5-point favorite, so even Vegas got this slated close. The Rams are at home. Matt Stafford's playing in the dome. Kyron Williams is healthy. Puka Nacua is healthy. Cooper Kupp is healthy. They've got 2 rookies on the Rams that can go and get after the ball. With both those kids they drafted out of Florida State, both have phenomenal seasons. I think both got 6 or 7 sacks on the year. So I think they get after the quarterback. The Lions just gave out the blueprint on how to beat the Vikings. Bump and run coverage. Get after Sam Darnold. I think that's what the Rams are going to do. I like the Rams plus 1.5. Who you got in this one? Rams and Vikings.
Man, I like that pick, man. I really do. I think that's an astute observation, man. I really do, but I'm going with the Vikings. I think I think most teams when they get hit in the mouth like they did, lose something big like that, they want to like shoe in on the season, or they might come out next days. But I think it's gonna be the opposite. I think the Vikings are really upset about losing that opportunity, and I think the Rams gonna pay for it, man. Honestly, I think the defense is gonna pay for it. I don't think the offense is gonna do much, or do too much. But I think we're gonna see a Rams offense that's been pretty electric all year get shut down.
They got the guy to do it. They got Brian Flores. Nobody's coached better this year than B-Flow. And like you said, they're probably gonna be mad from coming off that Lions win, because now you were playing for the number 1 seed. Now you got to fly across the country just to go play a few days later. As a matter of fact, so I think they will be mad in that one. But I like the Rams. No wrong pick in this one, folks. You have to make your own pick on that one. I ain't giving no advice on which pick to make. I'm taking Rams plus 1.5, but no right or wrong pick in this one. Folks, we're out of time here today on the show. Want to thank everybody for listening in with us today. Notre Dame and Penn State playing right now. I know you guys are getting home on your way home to be able to watch that. Penn State just got the ball with about 8 minutes left. Thanks, everybody, for watching MCC basketball this weekend on Saturday, 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock. They'll be playing. We'll be right back here on Monday. Want to shout out Kyrell. Thanks for coming on here with us, and we will see you guys next time here on Centex Primetime. Everybody have a great weekend and stay warm.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen Gillis.
Act like y'all.
Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the